Welcome to US Rugby Happy Hour Live. Interviews with the biggest names in American rugby.
The New England Free Jacks, Major League Rugby champions. One-on-one to score.
Here are your hosts, Bill Baker and that other guy.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and good morning, John Fitzpatrick. We don't usually say good morning. This is quite possibly the earliest happy hour in the country right now.
You might say it's a good rugby morning.
It is a good rugby morning. This is your time. This is your limelight right now, rugby morning.
Just had a cup of coffee. I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah, I'm
Kids are at school. Let's go.
Getting the bags out of anything in my eyes. You know, you're hyper because you were first in the school pool line, whatever you were, and at your back.
Just cutting people off. Yeah, exactly. Get out of my way. I'm late.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Speaking of getting in my way, I'm still glowing from the USA's performance over Portugal. I mean, they were like getting in my way, you know, what both teams were, and what a match, man. We were texting back and forth, and I had my problems with a couple of things. One particularly was the broadcast, but that's just me bitching. But I mean, you've got to be. We're going to talk more about this with our guests in a little bit. But USA moving up 3 spots to 16 is always a good thing. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully winning is contagious, you know?
I had an interesting conversation with a buddy about that defensive stand at the end of the game. I was like, I'm kind of, we'll talk to AJ about this, but part of me is like, I'm kind of glad it happened because I think it showed something about this team to themselves and to others.
Yeah.
Did we want that? Should that 5 minutes have happened? Arguable, debatable, but I think it showed something about this team. So.
Well, exactly. And I think possibly that's what Zero G's is about. You know, in the past, they're not playing nearly to their potential at that late in the match, but now they seem to be doing that. So, or at least consistently playing that at that level, a full 80, 86, whatever it was for that match. Good God, I was exhausted after watching that.
I know, I was so tired. I had to crawl to the refrigerator to get a different beer.
Oh, poor you! Oh, that's horrible.
Imagine how they felt.
Yeah, I did. I was Friday night. I was or Friday day, whatever it was. I was out at an Irish pub watching an Ireland-New Zealand match. And, of course, I asked the owner, who's an Irishman, hey, can we get the U.S. game on here? He says, what's it on? I was like, oh, never mind. It's on Flow. You can't get it in the bar. I was like, oh, come on. And I'm not talking bad about Flow right now. I was bummed. And I don't think he would have done it anyway. It's like, USA, they have a rugby team?
Well, that's when you got to bring your laptop and, an Ethernet cord and you can plug in.
Yeah. So listen, we got a lot to talk about today, this morning. So let's get into it. Before we mention that, USA does have 2 more matches coming up just this Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Rugby Pass against Tonga, and then the following weekend against Spain on November 23rd, 6:45 a.m. So maybe we can do a 6 o'clock show next on that one. That's a weekend show. Also, please, if you're following right now, if you're watching live right now, please like, follow, and subscribe to this show. It's on live on Facebook and YouTube, and also will be released on a podcast every Thursday or later on today on your favorite podcast player. So give that a like, follow, and subscribe, and share with your friends. Whew. All right, let's get on to our guests. And Fitzy, I got a surprise for us. We're going to try something a little new to introduce our guests.
Okay.
We're going to start today, and if it's a total S show, we won't do it again. But I think this is something that's going to help us win a Tony or something like that, whatever people win for podcasts.
Potty.
Right. If followers, people who have been watching our show religiously, we have a crack team of researchers, Wiki and Pedia. They're both amazing. We have an AI design team called Photoshop, and we have we have a whole crew of people. So we keep adding. So now we have an introduction jingle writer officially on the staff. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Here we go. Hopefully our guests can hear it too.
Show USA Eagle legend, USA Eagle and Bristol Bears AJ MacGinty. Number 10 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. AJ leads the way, American glory.
Yes, and there he is, American glory. Have you ever experienced anything like that, AJ? I mean, that's just...
That was very good. Well done.
Bill, I was getting Blink 182 vibes out of that at the beginning. I was like, let's go.
Totally. They're in our recording studio over there working on the jingle for next week's guest. AJ, man, good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. That was very unique. Got me off guard. So no, it's good to be on the show. Good to see you again. I'm doing well.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
And dude, congrats on a new member to the family. I should be asking, how's your wife doing? Because you're obviously on the road doing your own thing.
Yeah. Well, it was drama on the phone call this morning. With the kids, but no, she's doing awesome, and obviously very grateful for her that she's holding the house down, looking after the 3 kids while I'm away. So like I said to you, she's got the hard job. My days feel very long, even though we're training hard. My days feel very long, which is a good thing. So I'm getting, I guess, plenty of rest, which you won't like to hear. But no.
Well, hopefully she's not watching. How old's your oldest?
I have a 4-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and then 5 months is the newborn now. So yeah, it's a busy house at home. So yeah, I was on the phone this morning. My boy, he took the phone and ran upstairs and hid under his bed. His sister kept grabbing the phone. So it ended in tears, and he wanted to play football. So pulled on the heartstrings a little bit. So it did. So yeah, missing home, and obviously not too long now I'll be going back.
So AJ, your oldest is 4. You mentioned wanting to play football a little bit. Is he? Have you started throwing a rugby ball around with him? Is he playing on like a little tot team or something like that?
Yeah, he does rugby tots on Sundays and football on Mondays. And one of his godmother actually bought him a Steelers American football and Steelers gloves and Steelers wristbands. So he's pretty mad for all sports. Yeah, he plays everything. I'm not too sure about the colours of the jersey, but he likes it. So he's mad for sports, really.
Oh, that's good. Keep all sports. Maybe one day, like former USA Sevens coach Mike Friday's son is playing with Harlequins in the Prem Cup. Who knows? Maybe little MacGinty one day.
yeah. Down the line, we'll see.
Way down the line. All right, so you are in France right now, correct? And
yes.
A warm area, possibly? You don't look very warm.
No, it's not warm. It's it's actually a nice day today, but it's grey. It's been great the majority of the time, but it's a few of the boys are struggling with it, but I'm used to it. This is the norm, really, coming this time of year. Dark mornings, and I don't know, it's getting dark about 5 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, the lads are looking forward to going back to America. But yeah, we were lucky. It was a good day today. So the boys got out to see Leon. Some of the lads went out. So just gotta get on with it over here.
Right. All right. Let's jump into last weekend's match against Portugal. AJ, you played a full 80-plus minutes, obviously. How are we holding up? How's the body feeling?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, to be honest. I feel like I've kind of had a lot of rugby and then had a week off before this, so I was kind of excited to get back playing and obviously get back with the lads. So thankfully I'm all right. There's no niggles to be carrying into this week, which is good. There were probably a lot of sore bodies because lads have kind of been training on their own, and there hasn't been, or playing sort of club rugby, so not a lads have played a full 80 minutes, and especially sort of at that intensity. So the recovery is important to recover well to get ready for this week, which is obviously going to be another physical battle, which we're excited for.
So AJ, we couldn't help but chuckle. You may have caught this afterwards, but listening to the broadcast of the match, there was a few choice words you directed at KP in the build-up to the game-winning try. Obviously, as the communicator on the field, the fly-aft directing traffic around, telling the guys where to go. I imagine sometimes a good curse word or two, get the guys moving, is appropriate. Did anyone mention that to you after the game? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, of course I gotta apologize for that. The first message I got was from my mother.
Oh,
really?
So I denied it, but she came back and said it sounds like a Dublin accent. So yeah, I can't even remember saying it, to be honest. Part of the breakdown was the call that I was making wasn't the correct call, so the forwards were a bit all over the place, and I just wanted sort of the same direction. So I have to take responsibility for that. Like, wasn't accurate with my calling. So that's probably a bit of rustiness of not been together and knowing the terminology. But thankfully, he got around the corner and he scored the winning try, so it worked out pretty good.
No hard feelings, KP. It's just get to your mark.
Well, it seemed to help. It seemed to work. Let's talk about a different teammate there, about Ruben. You two haven't played together in a while, if we're correct here. It's been over a year. Let's talk about Ruben for a second, and as far as that connection between you and a number 9 like Ruben. Fun playing with him, working well together, and also let's talk about Ruben's growth in the game since you've played with him a number of times.
Yeah, it's been, I think, the last time me and Ruben played was, I hate to say it, but it was out in Dubai against Portugal. So I think there was, without speaking about it, we both had a bit of obviously hurt going into the game, but there was like, I don't know, sort of deep line, sort of something firing us up for the game. Like, obviously, I guess making the games a little bit personal. It's obviously about the team, but you always have your own personal motivations, and that was probably something we both felt. And yeah, no, listen, I really enjoy playing Ruben. He's I think he was cramping up at the end of the game because he hasn't played a full 80 in a while. But no, he had a really good game, really strong game. I think when he came onto the scene, his kicking was always like superb, and his kicking game still really strong and good passer. And I think probably with age and experience, growing into just sort of his organisation and bossing the forwards around as well. So it's been good to sort of, I guess, rekindle the connection and the partnership and play again. And it's obviously feels a lot better when you get the win, and the sort of prep and the work you've done throughout the week kind of goes to plan. Like I thought we moved the ball pretty well as a partnership, and probably left some scores out there too. So looking to sharpen up for this week. And I think probably similar to Tonga and us is you're probably always going to be sharper that second week, or you'd hope to be. So that's why we're excited for this week. And
so you talk about, you with Ruben, more time together, anticipating from him at certain timings. Now, of course, when you're with Bears, you play and train with these people for a long time. You know who's going to be hitting certain gaps. You know who's going to be where and which. So you're with the USA team for a week or so. Is there a big difference between the way you communicated or anticipated the players where they should be from last weekend going into this weekend? Is there a considerable difference, even just with a second week under your belts together?
I think, well, so like we obviously the game was a Saturday, and we came in like we arrived in like Friday, so we had 8 days together, which I think is huge. As like that, having a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as opposed to you might come in on a Sunday and then you just get Monday and Tuesday. So there's probably a lot more to go through. But we had a bigger focus for the first 3 days about our attack and our positioning, and obviously with the more time together, more days before the game, we were able to sort of had more evenings to review that and go over stuff. And I think obviously there's what the coach kind of wants from us, and then how we deliver it and get the message across to the players. And I felt like that, coming in on Friday was massive, because having those 3 extra evenings to go over the film of the training, and then sort of express it and sort of explain it to the lads exactly what we were chasing in different areas of the pitch. So that helped a lot. And then I think going into the game, obviously we're going to win, but I just felt the week had gone really well. No matter what happened, we're going to get the most out of the game. You know what I mean? We're going to get the most feedback about what we're doing, the analysis after, and boys will always pick up, get a better understanding and feel for it in the game. So now we probably have that sort of bulk of work, the 80 minutes, and we actually used the ball a lot. We played with the ball a lot, got through a lot of phases, and did it successfully. like I said, we definitely left points out there, but we're pretty effective with it. So there's definitely a few things to touch up for this week, and yeah, that's what we've done. So it's going to be, yeah, I'm excited to see how we go with the ball, because like Tonga obviously probably be a bit more physical, a bit more like, I don't know, confrontational in the contact there. So our breakdown have to be better too, and just how we manage that sort of that component of the game, like sharpening up our breakdown. So yeah, it's exciting for us.
AJ, I want to let's get this question out of the way because I'm sure you knew it was coming. 30 seconds to go in the game before the clock went to red. Now, from what you guys were on your half of the field, from what we were able to gather, Ruben has the scrum half. A lot of times, the head's down, is not seeing up the field. In a scenario like that, was, everyone screaming, oh, just sit on it and just phase or two and then kick it out. But it was kind of a loose play. Ruben picked up the ball. Was there maybe like a call to him, if he's not looking down the field, like a call to kick, because sure, if the kick found some open grass, the ball squirts around a little bit, Portugal scrambles, nothing happens. But in a situation like that, is there like a call to kick, or like walk us through it? Because some of us were like, why are they kicking the ball away there?
Yeah, so believe it or not, there was no clock in the stadium and there was no scoreboard.
Oh.
So some lads didn't even know what score it was. So when we have scored and we've kicked a goal, I just asked the ref and he's told me it's like 3 minutes. So when I've gone back, I've obviously told a few minutes, like 3 minutes left, and then of course they have a short kick, so it gets to like we get a scrum. So it's just like I'm thinking we'll just hold on to the ball and like close this out. But Ruben didn't know there was that much left, like there's that much time left on the clock. So we didn't know it was 30 seconds. So obviously, like you said, if that kick goes into touch and it's the clock's in the red, then and they've got to run it from their own 22. Like ideally we would have kept hold of the ball, but then when they've kicked back, I don't know how long's left. I know there's a couple of seconds, so I tried to keep hold of the ball, but then we got turned over. So even to the point when we're defending our line, some lads on the pitch didn't know it was the last play of the game. All
right, so two things. One, make sure when you go to the stadium today or tomorrow, make sure the scoreboard is on and working.
Can you wear a watch?
See the clock. And then two, this is a joke at the Chile game. At least the lights didn't go off in that.
I know. Yeah. So some lads, I was kind of, some of us were shouting it's the last play of the game, but I guess some lads not knowing might have worked out or didn't know the score was a good thing. So as you spoke about in the intro, the sort of defensive stand and holding them out was like really impressive. And I think more so impressive obviously late in the game and that happened, but like for the last 5 weeks guys have been training on their own. They haven't been in like team setups, team environments. It's been training on their own, doing their Bronco tests on their own, getting out and playing club rugby on the weekend. So there's like just enormous like sacrifice from everybody in the squad, and that's why it's probably even more rewarding that we were able to get it over the line, because I don't know, like if lads don't do that and they're 5 weeks sort of off, that we don't get that result really. So that was like so satisfying and so pleasing for the squad. I like just the individual effort that went on kind of post PNC. So that feels really good.
Well, what does that say about the team, AJ? I mean, it's like you said, everyone's working on their own, and to be able to hold Portugal in the last 5 minutes or so, defensive stand, everyone's exhausted, including them. What's that say about the team's grit, the determination, etc.? Again, pretty intense. I was nearly having a heart attack, and I'm sitting on my couch watching you guys.
Yeah, no, like I think you summed it up. It's like I guess every team wants to or as a player, like you want to display like strong character, and as a team display strong character. And how many times do you get in a season to do that? And for it to be the first game of the November internationals, and it's the last play of the game, and you got a 5 meter line out, and you march them, you march them back to the halfway, and kind of thinking then it's just like, let's don't give up a penalty, don't give them anything easy, to give them sort of rights for another sort of kick to our 22. So it's an unbelievable effort from the team and from everybody involved. Like not just the match day 23, because obviously it extends further than that, because there's guys that didn't play and they put in the effort too, and that's why the training sessions in the lead up were really good too. So it's it's been super competitive. The environment's been really competitive, like since we got in, and that's what you need.
All right, let's jump to this Saturday. You're taking on Tonga. They're 18th in the world right now, and for those listening right now, that is on Rugby Pass at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Haven't faced them since the 2019 Rugby World Cup. That was a loss. That was many years ago. Different people. There's really only 3 of you on this squad who played in that match. You, Ruben, and Peterson. How is the team preparing for Tonga? You mentioned earlier it's definitely going to be a physical match. How are you preparing, and what does Tonga bring to the table?
Yeah, like just obviously watching their game. I know they got beaten by Romania, but they actually played really well, and they're probably kicking themselves that they let that game sort of slip away. But they're big and confrontational up front, so it's like it's another job, sort of 80-minute job for our pack, and hopefully we can get on top of them in sort of the set piece battle. And then their backs are explosive and powerful and dynamic, and like for our one-to-one tackling in the back line is going to have to be like spot on, because these lads probably, I don't know, bigger and stronger than all of us if you just look at sort of body weight and physicality. Like, so that always presents a challenge. But like I think we're a physical group, and the backs are like to put their head in dark places. So that's gonna be exciting. And then I think building off the Portugal game and sort of our shape and how we use the ball, control the ball, and manipulate their defensive line is what I'm kind of really excited about too. So a lot of battles to play out, and hopefully we can get on top of them for the majority of the game. Because it's always going to be a tough test.
AJ, you talked about like building off of the win over Portugal, and right off to a great start, 1-0 in this November series. I mean, I guess from the players' point of view, what's the expectations? Did you guys set expectations before the matches? 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, or I guess talk us through kind of like what you guys were setting yourself as a standard for results this tour.
Like, listen, I think that probably doesn't have to be said, but it's like 3 games that you target that you want to win. I think it was mentioned that in terms of the world, the rankings, they're all teams that are just 1 or 2 spots above us. So there's a motivation to sort of climb the ladder in that sense, and knock off teams that are above us, and probably rightfully so that are above us, because we have underperformed by our own expectations. So that's something that motivates us, I think, as a group. Putting together a more complete performance, I think. Like, I'd say feedback, and even from watching defensively, we were pretty strong in the PNC, but we didn't hold on to the ball very well. And that's probably more to do with the weather, because the ball is like a bar of soap. So just how we sort of managed the game and where we played when we were in Japan. So there's just probably a more focus on how we control the ball and how we attack. So if we get those areas right and we improve those areas, sure, let's go win all 3 games. But it's like you said, it's not just going to happen. And there are 3 teams that are above us and have probably performed well over the last few years. So that's kind of the mindset for us. And I think, like Scott always talks about, there's the next World Cup they want to qualify for. It's the PNC next year, and this is the sort of last gathering before we do that. So what standard are we gonna set? What standard are we gonna set to end out 2024 and go into 2025 when we get back together? There's a real buzz and energy in the squad because of what we achieved in these tours. So, or on this tour. So that's something that motivates me as well. You want to finish the end of this sort of international season on a high. When we get back together, we're full of confidence. It's off the back of 3 wins. We've played well, we've performed well. There's a better understanding of what we're trying to do, and then on top of that, there's more time and more minutes spent playing together.
So AJ, you're obviously a veteran of this team. Can you share any input about this squad that may be different than maybe when you first started? So, and what I mean by that is like coaching. I believe Scott's maybe been your third head coach with the Eagles. And this is not a diss about the other coaches at all, but under Scott, does it look like the Eagles are making progress and going in the right direction, let's say?
Yeah, I think it's sadly it's only like my second tour, and I wouldn't even call the first one a tour because it was just 2 weeks together in the summer, and it was a tour that like 2 weeks that I was really disappointed how it played out. But yeah, I think with Scott and the coaching group, there's definitely a clear plan of how he sees the next few years. Like he's just like in terms of his, I guess his mindset of the team and what he does behind the scenes, it's always looking to build the squad for the future, for the next World Cup, the qualification, and then leading to 2031. That's like how far down the line he's prepping. He's prepping for the US Eagles. For the squad, I think it's great that like Don Basag is playing in the centre. He's only 20 years old, Like, he's 14 years younger than me. It's crazy, So, and he's doing brilliantly. But there are a lot of young guys. So the guys that have, Dom's obviously still in St. Mary's, but Storey came off the bench, another St. Mary's guy. But there's young guys that have come out of college. I guess that the pathway of like collegiate into MLR and then to international, like there's a lot more guys that are coming through, which is really pleasing. And then I think that inspires or that motivates other guys that are kind of playing collegiate level rugby now, to like seeing these guys do that. So the sort of conveyor belt of players and talent coming through is always going to be there, which I think is really important. And then what else is there? Like I just feel that the whole environment, I don't know if it is the mood's great. The mood was good going into the last week, and you get a win, and then that lifts everybody even more. So I guess a winning camp is a happy camp, and we gotta keep pushing. And
yes,
the more you win, the more probably notice you get back in America, and the more people probably want to play the game and get involved and sort of play at the national level. So that's what the goal is.
AJ, you mentioned some of those younger players that are coming up, and we don't need to mention the age gap again. Although there's got to be a joke in there because I know some of the guys had a great nickname for Greg Peterson. We'll have to ask if the younger guys have given you a nickname yet. But I mean, I guess some of these younger players, these newer faces, maybe have they, particularly maybe in the back line, have they like come to you for advice or to pick your brain just about rugby or being professional, things like that?
I think like when I came in this camp, I think a lot of lads that have been watching enjoy the way that Bristol play. So that's been an excitement. They're like the style of rugby that Bristol have been playing, and they really enjoy watching the games. But I think more so than ever, we've done a lot more, like not even coach led, but just sort of player driven, where we get together and we just watch back the footage. So like I'm watching a lot more rugby with those guys, like trifecta of Gales in the back line between Stordy, Pete and Dom. So there's a few jokes going on there because obviously I went to Life University, and they like that they believe that the Gales were the best back in their heyday. So there's a bit of banter there. But no, I think we've definitely been watching a lot in our groups, and then as a whole backline, we've been watching a lot more rugby. So then, there's always, I guess, questions asked, or I ask them questions about what they see, and just getting on the same page of making calls and keeping it really simple and clear. So that's been a really enjoyable part of this tour for me.
AJ, we asked you earlier about how you're holding up physically. And we bring that up because between Premiership, Champions Cup coming up, USA, apparently there's nothing less than 80 minutes in your bones for every match, and obviously that's because of club decisions and all that, and personnel. I got to ask again. Are you okay? Are you holding up okay? It's a lot of minutes.
I know. I cheeked my hamstring playing touch the other day. I don't know how you're
Yeah, no, I feel really good. Obviously, I spend a lot of time like focusing on my recovery and looking after my body. And I think I'm doing the right stuff, and my body's feeling okay. So I don't want anyone to be worrying about me. I feel better now than I did when I was 28 or 26. Like some of the young lads are feeling sore after the training sessions and giving them a bit of stick because one, it's meant to be sore, but two, get fitter, get stronger. Well,
I mean, you're playing like you're a 25, 26-year-old, so that's great. well, AJ, let's jump into Premiership. Let's talk about Bristol here for a moment. 4-2 in the season, third place, not far behind from Bath. I know it's early in the season, but Bears are playing some really fun rugby, fluid, exciting play. Some of the best Premiership highlights this season so far come from your matches. Heck, you even assisted Toby Fricker's try. I know you haven't had a chance probably to play with Toby yet, but at least in a U.S. uniform. What's been the key to the team's success so far this year?
You
can say you. Just say you. It's me.
No. What's been the key? I don't know. It's a tough question. When things are going well, like it's just contributions from everybody. I think probably set out to start. We finished last season on without disappointing we didn't make playoffs, but we finished the season on a real high.
Yeah.
And had a lot of confidence in the way we were playing, and kind of started pre-season that way of just this is how we're going to do it. Like I think Pat Lam and the coaches and the S&C set up like a brilliant pre-season. It was just kind of straight into 15 on 15. Let's play rugby, and we just playing more and more together. And so like 4-2, we could, I don't know, we probably could have had a few more wins. So you're kind of looking back on them thinking they slipped away, but we're playing a good brand of rugby. I think it's like from the very top at Bristol, it's kind of encouraged and it's demanded. It's like that's what the owner wants. He wants an exciting brand of rugby, and I think Pat Lam sets out the stalls like this is how we're going to approach the game, and that gives players a lot of confidence. There's no grey areas, and no grey areas. I mean, there's probably a lot of guys there that have been around Bristol for numerous years, so they have a good understanding of what Pat Lam wants, what the coaches want. So there's a lot of clarity and a lot of cohesion on the pitch, which is showing. And I think also for that brand of rugby, you need good weather. We've played in really good weather for the majority of the games. So our challenge now is going back when we get back together when it's dark and it's wet. It's just how we fare against the teams, because it's probably easier for the defenses to get on top when it's wet weather, when it's cold. So pitches are a bit heavier. So that's going to be the challenge going back, which I'm looking forward to.
So AJ, I may be a couple hours behind, but there's reports, that Bristol may be looking to sign another marquee fly half. I guess like a player like yourself, how do you handle talks like that, right? Is it do you welcome having like competition at the position, or just how does one approach? Because clubs are obviously going to make personnel moves here and there to make the team better, but when someone signs, say, someone who plays your position. How does one approach, say, handling a situation like that?
I think in the past, I don't know. Like in my head, I don't like to see it as like competition. I just think it's like it's just a challenge. Like for me, the competition is always like it's outside the building. It's trying to beat other teams. When someone else comes in, he's the challenger, and like. Not to like rise or fall to the challenge, but like how do you, like I don't see it as a negative thing. I don't like seeing it as a negative thing, because then I probably won't get the best out of myself. I see the challenge as like if someone comes in, cause in my time with Sale, like out halves came in, and then do I want to play? Yes. So what do I have to do to play, and how can I improve whatever aspect of your game that is, like your kicking, your passing, your decision making. That's what you have to improve, and you got to do it consistently, because there's no point just doing once or twice, because then you open the door for an opportunity for someone else. So yeah, like just over my experience, I guess, not just in the rugby, but in life or in other sports I played, is just embracing the challenge. I think that's probably in me from as a kid, having two older brothers, and everything was a challenge growing up, playing in the back garden. So yeah, that's how I see it. And I to be honest, I don't actually hear about it either, because I don't read the social media, so I probably only hear it from my brother about what's happening inside and outside. So yeah, and like, I guess it's probably different now, because I'm 34, 35, and people like slow down, or some people could be retiring at this stage. But at the moment in my head, I don't feel like I want to finish up. Like, I'm really enjoying playing. I think been pretty consistent this year so far, and I want that to continue. My body feels really good. So yeah, just embrace the challenge and keep on trying to improve myself.
One last thing about Bristol. I believe it's still correct to believe your contract's up at the end of the season. Anything you can share about your plans? Hope to stick around Bristol, maybe join Old Glory or the Free Jacks?
Yeah, I kind of, yeah, it's probably talks happening now. Yeah. So we'll see what comes of that. I think obviously I went to a World Cup before I even had a professional contract, and going to a World Cup, I was lucky enough to get a contract off the back of that. And I just, after the World Cup, I had just in my head been thinking I would like to, like, I'll be 37 on the 4th World Cup, let's say, of my career, of my playing career, and that's all I really targeted. I didn't target where I was gonna go play or who I was going to play for. It's just I would like to be in a position to play at 4 World Cups. I've been to 2 and I missed out on 1, so I'd like to make it 3. So yeah, I just want to keep playing, and where I play, I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I'd like to. I'm going to continue playing till 2027 for sure. That's what I know in my heart.
Well, now come on. There's going to be places you won't play, like that one match you had with Connacht, and I think it was in Russia, where it was minus whatever degrees. So not that place.
Yeah, that was Krasnoyarsk. I won't forget that. Yeah, possibly somewhere warm. Yeah, that would be a preference.
Fitzy, any last comments or questions for Mr. MacGinty?
No. I just was funny because AJ, you made a comment, that you don't follow too much on social media. You've got a couple social media accounts, and you're relatively active. But do you just like to keep a lower profile on Instagram? Share memes when you see them? Is that?
I have an Instagram. That's what I have. And then I posted because Will Hooley does some work, so he made a video and I posted that, and then I also posted a video with the lads after the game, a photo with the lads after the game. So yeah, I post every now and again. But I actually had to ask who was in the bus behind me. Don was in the bus behind me, and I had to get some, not his advice, but just his knowledge on how to post this picture, because I was having some issues with posting it. But no, I'm not a dinosaur. I know how to use it, but it's I don't know. They've had upgrades in the last few years. So yeah, I use it. I'd honestly, the stuff on my Instagram is mostly like motivational stuff, sports stuff, and then parenting stuff, raising kids and dealing with tantrums. So yeah, that's the most of my feed.
It should be a reality show. It should be cameras following you around. Well, AJ, yeah, honestly, you're better off not being on social media, to tell you the truth, but I'm on it. And we communicate to your brother to make sure you find out about things. But AJ, man, it's so fun talking to you. Thanks again for doing this. Say hello to Nate again for us, if he's still there.
Yeah. He's doing his crossword.
Anyway, no, but
yeah,
seriously, man.
We got a big old room here. Look at this little Single beds we have.
Is it your bed made already? The other one is just it's.
I was having a little power nap today, so no, it's not made. It's not made.
Single beds, as you do. AJ, man, yeah, thank you so much, man. Good luck this weekend. Actually,
thank you very much.
Last thing, are you available for Spain?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
For the next 2 weeks.
All right. Good. I meant to ask that early, but good. All right, good luck in these matches, and again, good luck with Bristol, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Lovely stuff. All right, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, cheers.
Speak soon.
I always cut him off.
Get out of here.
I always cut him off.
Thanks
again.
I didn't realize Nate was on
the bed. Yeah. Well, I think he was listening to music and doing a crossword. But yes, that was the pre-interview conversation. He was back there, and you were running into the house, pounding an espresso, and getting into your seat. Excuse me. Oh man, that was good. AJ is honestly a star in this league, in the world right now. Not the league, USA Rugby Premiership. He's a top scorer in the Prem right now after 6 or 7 matches. His kicking is probably the best it's been in a while. We talked about this last time. He just tied last week or a couple weeks ago the most consecutive matches with an assist in a Premiership match or any competition actually. So he has a chance to beat that when he returns. So I'm not sure if he misses out on a game, does that count, or is it just him in 6 consecutive matches? We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it's probably played. Yeah. But my thought to AJ is this. He mentioned 2027, and look, go with me here for a second. Johnny Sexton played till he was 38, 39.
Yep.
Tom Brady played well into his 40s at a high level. Nanu, obviously, Mekito here in MLR. I mean, he just played 80 minutes, against Portugal.
Portugal. Yep.
Playing at a high level. The body continues to hold up. The contracts are there. I mean, see how it goes. Just saying. 31's only 6 years away now. It's not that far, 40. Yeah. Just saying.
Well, the injury history has not been on his side, but he is playing great right now. And the Bristol deal is signing a new player. They don't really have anyone behind him that's Prem ready, which is the main reason why he's probably played 5 straight 80-plus minute matches for Bristol. I think he played like 77 the first match or something like that. But also it's got to be good as well. You get into a routine playing that much, right?
Yeah.
So, and that could be the reason why he's playing at the way he is playing right now.
Yeah.
But I think the main reason why he's playing the way he is playing right now is because of this.
AJ MacGinty, number 10 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. AJ leads the way.
So wait. Please tell me that we're gonna have that intro for every new guest that comes on, right?
It may be slightly different for each guest, but yes, that is the plan.
Yeah.
Again, it's going again.
How much are you paying this in-house band?
Well, it's Blink 182, so it's it's not cheap, dude. It is not cheap. All right, buddy. Good stuff. Again, that's AJ MacGinty. Check out the podcast replay if you missed most of the interview or any of the interview on your favorite podcast player. Shout out goes to people listening around the world, including Pierre in France. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, share the show with your friends. Like, follow, and subscribe, and check out the podcast as well. Love having you guys on here. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Play that music going out. Yeah.
Trying. Wait, hold on. Wait, I gotta do it.
Our guest tonight on the show, USA Eagle legend. USA Eagle and Bristol Bears AJ MacGinty. Number 10 on the field, number 1 in your hearts. AJ leads the way. American glory.
Yeah, baby. Good night.